My first name is spelled E-R-I-K. My last name is spelled F-A-D-D-E-N. I'm the Public Safety Director and Chief of Police for the City of Plymouth, and I want to provide you a little update to the incident that occurred in the City of Plymouth last night. Last night, on Tuesday, July 6th, at approximately 10 p.m., Plymouth police officers were dispatched to a motor vehicle accident that occurred in the area of Highway 169 and Rockford Road in the City of Plymouth. Upon their arrival, officers began to render medical aid to a driver and determined that the driver of the vehicle sustained a gunshot wound. The driver was transported to North Memorial Medical Center in Robbinsdale, where he later died. The suspect vehicle fled the scene. The initial investigation by our detectives leads us to believe that the victim and the suspect were both traveling south on Highway 169 next to each other. We further believe that there may have been some sort of traffic altercation between the two drivers. As they proceeded south past Rockford Road, the suspect shot at the victim's vehicle and struck the victim driver. The victim's vehicle ran off the highway and crashed into a parking lot of an apartment complex that's located on the 3900 block of Lancaster Lane North. The suspect vehicle is believed to be a light-colored, full-size SUV, similar to a Chevrolet Suburban or Tahoe, and possibly has damage to the driver's side rear bumper. We will communicate additional information as the investigation continues into further vehicle descriptions of the suspect vehicle. Our detectives are currently investigating numerous tips and reviewing video evidence of the incident, but obviously due to the nature of the ongoing investigation, we will not be providing any additional information into the facts that we know at this time about this case. The victim's identity will be released by the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office after we can confirm that the proper notifications have been made. I just have to say, this was one of the most tragic events that I've witnessed in my 20 years in policing. It was really truly a senseless act that resulted in the loss of a human life. And our thoughts and prayers go out to the family, friends, and those affected by this horrible event. With that, we are encouraging anyone who may have information related to this case to please contact Captain Michael Reed of the Plymouth Police Department. He's standing right behind me here. His phone number is 763-509-5178. I'm confident that someone has some relevant information to this case, whether you were just driving in the area along 169 around 10 o'clock last night, or have some information relevant to any suspect vehicle. Please give us a call. With that, I can answer some limited questions. Obviously, with the nature of the case, I can't answer too much, but we're happy to take any questions if folks have any.
Was there anyone else in the vehicle of the victim who was shot and killed on the road?
I can't comment on this time, just due to the nature of us not really knowing the suspect and their identity at this point. I think it would be reckless to comment whether or not there are other people involved in this.
You say this was, you believe it was a traffic altercation, like a road rage incident? Is that, or what do you
Yeah, yes, we believe there was some sort of traffic altercation between the two vehicles as they were traveling south on 169 prior to this, based on some of the video evidence that we're seeing.
You saw that on traffic camera?
Correct.
There was something?
Correct.
Like one cut off the other, or?
Yeah, some sort of traffic. I have not viewed it, but what I've been told is that they were traveling next to each other, and there was some sort of traffic altercation, is what it's been described to by me, or to me.
How often do you see where an incident on a roadway turns into a driver or somebody pulling a gun and shooting at the other? I mean,
This is rare in the City of Plymouth. Obviously, by my reaction, I wasn't planning that as we're talking about this. This doesn't happen very often here, so it's unusual, especially from some sort of senseless traffic altercation is what we believe it to be at this time. It doesn't happen very often here.
That's what I was going to ask you. Where does that emotion sort of come from? Was it the accident itself? Did you know the victim because it's so rare?
I didn't know the victim. I'm going on very little sleep. I was in along with most of our staff here last night, and being there and at the scene, and just seeing the aftermath of this accident. Apparently it has its toll.
Had they been shooting a long time at the vehicle or just one shot?
We don't know at this time. I really don't know the answers to that.
Did the driver who was shot lose control of their vehicle? Is that why they ran over the fence and into the parking lot, or were they already dead at that point? Do you know how that all unfolded?
We don't know. We believe, as I mentioned, we believe the shooting occurred on the highway. And then after the driver was shot, we believe they lost control of the vehicle, traveled off the west side of the highway, through the ditch, through some trees, through the fence, and into the parking lot of the apartment complex.
Do you know, can you say the amount of time or distance between when you believe this altercation occurred and when the shots were fired?
I don't know the answers to that. We're still investigating that clearly with reviewing video evidence at this time.
Do you think you pinpointed when it started, or how far back are you going? Could it have stemmed from somewhere where they may both have been coming from?
Yeah, we are looking at all options, and you know, at this point, it's too early to tell. We do know that the vehicles were traveling next to each other for a period of time along 169, but before that, we don't know.
Were there any witnesses in the parking lot?
I don't believe there were any witnesses in the parking lot. I don't know that we're 100% certainty, but as best as that our investigators know at this time, they have not spoken to any witnesses that were residents of the apartment complex there.
I know you sent out that one photo. Is there some more video that you can share with us? That
There will be. We want to, and I think I mentioned it in here, but if I didn't, I apologize. As we continue to review that evidence, we will post or send out additional suspect vehicle information, whatever we can get, and we feel that we can share that will help the investigation and won't hinder it. We're going to put that information out, especially when better video or still shots from the traffic cameras have become available.
Would that be today?
We're hoping so. We're working with, obviously, MnDOT to get some of that information.
Is there anything you'd like to say to anyone who might be hesitant to come forward if they know something, to convince them to give you what you might need?
I mean, I would just speak back to what I kind of spoke to with my prepared statements, that, you know, this is truly a senseless act. It's one of the most senseless acts I've seen in 20 years in law enforcement. And there are people in this community that are hurting today because of the senseless act that occurred last night. And I'm sure the people involved with this event are feeling some guilt that they, you know, feel the need to come forward and at least talk about what happened. And we encourage them to do that. You know, there's always two sides to a story. So if, you know, I just want to encourage people that if you do know anything, if you think you witnessed it and you don't feel comfortable talking to us, you can always give us a call. Any information, an anonymous tip or anything is welcomed at this point. And we'd be happy to have those conversations with anybody that thinks they have some information.
Chief, just one last question. The shooter, do you think the shooter was the driver of that other vehicle or in the passenger side? I didn't know from where the bullets struck.
We don't know at this time. It's really too early to tell. I mean, we really have the vehicle description, but beyond that, I would be foolish to guess at this point. It would be just that, as a guess. All right. With that, thank you all for coming. We really appreciate it, and we'll push out more information as the investigation continues.